God damn it. Akutami, like, completely distracted me this whole chapter. Completely threw me off. Like, hey, obviously, if you're at the review, you've read the chapter, you know this panel. It was such a distracting moment because it was just such a nothing to severity, super fast, super crazy. So the whole last chapter ended with Koroi. She's I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right now, but the maid that it was watching over Amanai. Was it her name? Riko Amanai, I think her name is Amanai for sure. But they're like, okay, yeah, we need to go rescue her, but we need to figure out a plan. They wanted to leave her behind because they didn't want to risk like her being caught up in it and whatnot. She didn't want to potentially miss saying goodbye to her friends before the whole star plasma vessel merging bit happens, and it's all kind of built up. And they're like, okay, yeah, we'll bring you. And this really kind of depicted Satoru's weakness throughout the chapter. His biggest weakness is he's got a big heart. He cares just a little bit too much for him. And we know that it's consistent with his character. Back in Volume 0, you see the part where, he has Yuta on the team, and he's talking to that guy. He's like some way connected with the higher-ups in their group. And they're like, just so you know, the execution for Yuta is just postponed. And Satoru is the strongest character they have. He's by far like the most powerful guy. And he's like, just so you know, if you guys try, I'm going to side with Yuta. And I imagine that's pretty hard for like the whole Jujutsu sorcerers, like their whole their whole organization. At least these ones, because it's what the Jujutsu College, whatever. It's weird because how much I like the series, but I never remember what the group's name is. But it must be hard for them to have like the strongest character in them be fully ready to defy them for his own team. And it's like, yeah, what are you guys gonna do? What are you gonna try and apprehend him? You're gonna lose your biggest asset if you can somehow beat him. But when Satoru sees her Amanai just really upset because she wants to see Koroi again before it's over, or before she ends up Star's plasma vessel merging, she kind of wins him over. She's crying a little bit, she's nervous, and Satoru's like, all right, if it means, as long as bringing you doesn't in any way risk the the death of her, but also you're not at risk yourself, then we fine, but you can't back out even if you're scared. I don't care if you're scared, you'll be going at this point. And then it immediately skips over that whole rescue mission. So that completely thrown off guard. You got built up to this kind of intimidating battle coming up. And it shows the whole itinerary. It just shows okay, yeah, she got kidnapped, and then they demand where they're gonna go. We got Okinawa. We got to Okinawa at 9, and then at 11 they rescued her, got the kidnappers, interrogated them. And now they're just chilling out in Okinawa, just like a little mini vacation. And a lot of it is just they're chilling, having fun, while at the same time they know that this girl these are her last days. And I don't think she knows the extent of her merging is going to be with. And we actually see young Nanami, before he doesn't have his cool little goggles yet, still depressed, and he has what I imagine is his paddle weapon in his bag. But they're talking about, they're like, oh, him and this dude, I'm trying, Haibara, that R looks like another A, but they're talking about, the severity of the situation that they're in, they're like, oh yeah, Satoru and Geto are they're off guarding this girl in this pretty risky operation, and then it's Satoru and the girl, and they're messing with the sea cucumber, and they're just having fun. But it's actually revealed when they're when the girl wants to stay an extra day, and Satoru's like, oh, it's fine, it'll be easier moving tomorrow then, instead of late tonight, and then we want to worry about skating wherever we're at in that time period before tomorrow in the end. And he's actually been using his power the whole time. He's been using the 6 eyes, scan the area and people, and he hasn't been sleeping any of this time. And though he acts like he doesn't care, he still is keeping an eye on things, keeping a watchful gaze in the area. And I didn't think about it at all until the last minute, because he just got a lot of nice things. And you get some pages of them just they're canoeing, they're getting out, going to eat food. They go to an aquarium. You see what are those, whale sharks, I think. And it just is a really nice. You're just thinking about man, she's just having fun. They're having some nice relaxing time before all this. And then right near the end, 4 hours before her bounty is lifted, and then right then, because we know he actually looks tired in some of these last few panels. He just looks a little bit drowsy. And he's like, yes, the mission's finally over. And right then, Fushiguro shows up, stabs him right through the back, and we know, the thing is, we know that that was his whole plan. He wanted to wear him down. He wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna throw these big shots their way. It was gonna be like an event to kind of keep them on their toes, but kind of like make it so they're gonna be near the end just physically and was it, I guess, cursed, energied, drained, and just not expect it. So instead of, you know, being able to see him, he's been scanning, looking for people this time. He's like, man, the mission is already almost over. I can kind of relax. And then bam, in that moment of weakness, bam, stabbed. You know, he didn't have his guard up. Because, he even says, like, this is in the Jujutsu highest barrier. Fushiguro, he seems much more, like, he seems powerful, but this is probably more of, like, on, like, his largest aspect that he's conniving. And they're all just shocked that he's there. And it's weird because we obviously know Satoru doesn't die. We've seen him, like, this is before Volume 0, and obviously before where he's at in the main story. But it's like a question of, like, what's going to happen? Like, how do they get out of this situation? What happens to Fushiguro? What goes on? Did they complete the mission? Like, how does this all proceed? So, like, and then you have this guy, this villain who's just like, oh, this guy's really powerful, but I know how to beat him. I know I just got to kind of like get him in like this spot where I need that moment of his guard not being up. That moment of, you know, he's exhausted, he's getting towards the end. He gets in that too relaxed, we're almost done state, and then bam, strikes, stabs him right through, gets through his infinity, and it's been laid out. We knew that was his plan. We knew he was his plan. We knew that we knew that he had been using his power all the time. Satoru had been like kind of keeping watch. We knew about like how draining his six eyes were and the draining of parts of his abilities. We knew from when he tried to use red glow, he didn't have full control over it yet. It's not like now where he just, like, you know, he can throw these attacks around like nothing. He didn't have full control in his younger years. It's like it just was each chapter getting an aspect of this, and then bam, all leading up right at the end. Fushiguro just comes up, stabs him right through the back, and that's like what, right through the abdomen, I think. It's not through the heart. You'd think he'd go for the heart, but he's probably just took that opportunity. He probably didn't like be like, I'm gonna precise aim. It was probably just like, I need to go stab him before they notice me. Obviously, Geto's still there. I'm curious to know what he's got planned for Geto, because Geto is still really strong. So does he have something set up for them? Is he gonna stab him and then like attack the girl and leave? What is he planning? It's very questionable. And it's so interesting when you have that kind of like, it was all set up in plain sight. Like people are already like looking at like the chapters, the last couple, and it'd be like, God damn it. Like it was so obvious. We knew, but we weren't thinking about it. That's why I thought the first part of the chapter was genius. Because it was like, oh, we're doing some serious stuff. This is going to get intense. No, we're skipping over that. It wasn't important. It was really easy, as you can see the time thing. They got to Okinawa at 9, and then by 11, they already found, captured, and then an hour later interrogated the kidnappers. It just seemed like super easy for them. And then it was like, okay, we're going to be here until tomorrow. You got to keep your energy just kind of constantly going, constantly like just looking around. And you were in that kind of like false sense of severity in this, because like I said, the chapter starts serious and then it got super relaxed, super happy and cheerful, and then you just had some nice like vacation, like soothe vibes, and then right at that moment, backstab at that last panel, at last page, and they're all freaking, well, second to last page, so last page it's just him just like, haha, you're not gonna even remember my name, because he's just like, the store's like, where the hell did you come from, question mark, as a bleed is going through my torso. And Fushigiro's like, yeah, you know, you're not going to need to remember about it. That's not fucking important. I'm here to do my job and get my goddamn money. I'm so wanting to see where this goes. And again, it's one of those flashback arcs. You know the character isn't dead. It's not like a mystery of how he died. It's not a mystery of, like, there's still some stuff in there. I've actually been talking a lot with one of my friends of, like, is this where we're going to see what drastically changed Satoru and Geto's characters? I think by the end of this, it will be on that first step towards like what made them way different, and then we'll maybe get another flashback arc eventually where it's like another one. I'm just gonna go with guess if that goes like that, it'll be like 3, and then by the third one we'll figure out what exactly changed them so differently to Satoru being as much more like fun yet serious and, you know, on the job that he became, and Geto being this much more dark and like vicious character, and obviously betraying Jujutsu High and stuff. But other than that, like, in very intriguing chapter, very much, I just want to know, like, where is it going to go from here? Because this was such a 0 to 100 moment. Like, there was no panel, like, showing him sneaking up. There was nothing like, oh, yeah, here he comes. Like, oh, shit, you better turn around and look for him. It was just like a no. They're like, sweet, the job's over. Bam, stabbed right in the fucking back. And Satoru, of all people, it's crazy. He didn't sense him, too. So I'm wondering what Fushigoro's ability is. What is his Jujutsu power that maybe it aided with him? Does it somehow, like, maybe he's been, like, maybe it involves draining people's energy and he's been falling the whole time and, like, adding, like, an extra level of drain onto him? I don't know. This goddamn so goddamn hype. So many of these chapters have been so hype lately within Shonen Jump. They've all been really exciting. Other than that, comment below. Like, I just want to figure out what happens. It's crazy. It's a flashback arc I don't want to end. But at the same time, I want it to end because I want to get back to the main characters as well. But I love Satoru and Geto's characters so much. So it's just fun seeing that. And then Fushiguro just seems like a cool villain because he's not, like, great right now, but I liked his, like, he's just scummy. He doesn't come off as, like, this mastermind villain. He doesn't come off as this, like, big powerhouse villain. He just feels like, oh, I'm a villain because I'll just do whatever fucking scummy asshole, like, low things I can in order to get the job done. And that's what's cool about him, I think. He's very different from the other ones so far. So, comment below and tell me about your opinion on this chapter. Tell me how you think things are going to go. And what exactly do you think is going to be the outcome of this? Because now Satoru's injured. We don't know if he has any healing techniques, even now. I mean, he could maybe use his infinity to stop the bleeding, like hold the wound in place, like hold the energy layer right over his skin. I don't know. I feel like he's too drained for that now. I think he's not going to be able to fight, and it's going to be Geto versus Fushiguro. Who the fuck knows? Next chapter. Like, no, God, I just realized it's a 2-week wait. That's even worse. God damn. Gonna be rough. It's gonna be a 2-week wait. This was actually even better because now it's like we left off on a serious cliffhanger too. Anyway, comment below, thumbs up the video. Would really appreciate the like button and the subscribe button. Tell your friends to read Jujutsu Kaisen. It's awesome. And thanks everyone who's already subscribed, and thank you all for listening. Bye.